1999 पाकिस्तानियों ने गहरी चाल चली। आतंकियों की आड़ में एलओसी पर घुसपैठ और कब्जे की कोशिश।
हम शांति चाहते हैं, ये तो दुनिया ने देखा। अब दुनिया ये देखेगी कि हम शांति की रक्षा के लिए और अपनी शक्ति का भी प्रदर्शन कर सकते हैं। लड़ाई अभी चलेगी और इस लड़ाई को जीतने के लिए हमें प्रयास करना है।
Imagine planning a war while your prime minister is publicly shaking hands It's the story of decades of humiliation, revenge, military ego, and one general who became obsessed with rewriting history after 4 consecutive military losses. Welcome to Borders and Beyond. Today's geopolitical analysis is about the series of events which resulted in the Kargil War of 1999. India had a refugee crisis pouring across its eastern border. India intervened, and in 13 days, the Pakistan army in East Pakistan collapsed completely. 93,000 Pakistanis surrendered. This is not a battlefield loss. This is a total comprehensive national humiliation. Every Pakistani soldier who rose through the ranks after 1971 carried that memory.
1971, a new nation is born. How a cry of anguish made India help set a nation free.
The Indian Army is in Bangladesh. Your Air Force has been destroyed. You are surrounded on all sides. And if you don't surrender, you will be killed unmercifully.
How India and Mukti Bahini fought side by side.
The Pakistan army had one obsession after that. Prove 1971 was a one-off. Prove they could win. That idea got into the army's blood. The Pakistani officers didn't just feel ashamed, they took notes. Figured out what went wrong, told themselves next time will be different and India will suffer. One junior officer was watching all of this very, very closely. And his name was Pervez Musharraf. And everything 1971 did to him, it did for life. Now here's the piece of history most people skip when they discuss Kargil, and it's absolutely super critical. Siachen glacier is a remote, desolate, brutally cold place. Temperature drops frequently to -50 degrees and beyond. Your body starts shutting down just by being there. For years, neither India nor Pakistan bothered to formally occupy it. Pakistan conceived their plan first back in 1983. They had a date set, April 17, 1984. They thought they had time. Well, they didn't. Pakistan ordered Arctic weather gear from a London supplier, completely unaware that the same supplier also outfitted the Indian army. Indian intelligence picked up the signal and acted first. Pakistan was planning a secret military operation and blew their own covers by ordering winter coats from a wrong shop. India promptly ordered twice as many outfits and rushed their soldiers to Siachen. India planned Operation Meghdoot. The date they chose was April 13, 1984, Baisakhi. Pakistan never thought a Sikh general would attack on such an auspicious day. By that Baisakhi morning, approximately 300 Indian troops had already occupied the key peaks and passes of the glacier.
पूरा सियाचिन अब इंडियन आर्मी के कंट्रोल में था.
India relied largely on airdrops. India still beat them there. Another humiliation layered on top of 1971. Outmaneuvered, outpaced, outthought, beaten to their own plan. And Pervez Musharraf was the brigadier watching this happen and personally leading Pakistan's failed assault. Then came 1987. Pakistan tried yet again. Operation Qaidar, a major task force under Brigadier Pervez Musharraf. They captured a peak and named it Qaid Post after Muhammad Ali Jinnah. A statement that this is ours, this is Pakistan. It didn't stay with them for long. Under Naib Subedar Bana Singh, the Indian Army launched a counter-attack.
बाना सिंह अपने साथी राइफलमैन चुन्नी लाल, लक्ष्मण दास, ओमराज एंड कश्मीर चंद के साथ कायद पोस्ट पर पहुंच जाते हैं. वो पहले एक ग्रेनेड को पाकिस्तानी बंकर में फेंक देते हैं. इस अटैक में कई पाकिस्तानी सोल्जर्स मारे जाते हैं, लेकिन बचे हुए पाकिस्तानी सैनिक फौरन अटैक करने के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. बाना सिंह और उनके साथी भूखे, प्यासे और थके हुए हाथ से ही लड़ने लगते हैं.
Qaid Post sat at 21,000 plus feet. The air there is so thin most people cannot stand without gasping. Bana Singh and his team climbed it under fire, took it back. The post was renamed Bana Post in his honor. He received the Paramveer Chakra, India's highest gallantry award. Musharraf had failed yet again. And then came the moment that really cut deep. Benazir Bhutto publicly taunted Pakistani generals, telling them to wear bangles.
Yes, in 1989, I think it was when she stormed in supposedly into GHQ and she told General Musharraf bangles or burqa or something. Chudiyan dalo.
And if they cannot fight on Siachen, she said that the Pakistani army is only fit to fight its own citizens. And the same woman who later rejected his invasion plan twice had just humiliated him in front of an entire nation. For a man who had staked his professional reputation on these mountains, this was not a political insult. This was personal. Siachen was a thorn in Musharraf's flesh, more so because of Benazir Bhutto publicly asking the Pakistani generals to wear her bangles. And this is the moment Kargil was born in Musharraf's mind. Not in 1999, but in 1987, on a frozen mountain peak after Bana Singh climbed 21,000 feet and took back what was India's. The plan that became Kargil was not invented in 1999. It had been sitting on a shelf for more than a decade. After India inducted Operation Brass Tacks in 1986, Pakistan developed a war game called Operation Tupac, a plan to invade and capture Kashmir. The plan for Kargil infiltration had been suggested to Ziaul Haq in 1980s and Benazir Bhutto in 1990s. Both times the plans were shelved, considering too dangerous. In 1988, Musharraf himself proposed the plan directly to Bhutto. She said no, but Musharraf kept rising up the ranks. The plan kept waiting. Then 1998 arrived. On May 1998, India conducted nuclear tests at Pokhran.
11 May 1998.
Switching command to internal.
Range ready? Ready. Today, at 15:45 hours.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
India conducted 3 underground nuclear tests in the Pokhran range.
5 detonations, India declared itself a full nuclear state. Pakistan tested weeks later. Both countries now openly nuclear. India under international sanctions, economically weakened. Musharraf saw this as an opportunity. His logic, India is weak, their government is new, and nuclear weapons on both sides mean India cannot escalate to a full-scale war. So do a limited operation, take the territory by force, and then force them for negotiations. The nuclear backdrop was central. Pakistan thought this gave them an opportunity for a limited offensive with a minimal risk. It was a theory, but it was catastrophically wrong. In October 1998, Nawaz Sharif appointed Musharraf as Chief of Army Staff, bypassing two senior generals. The man nursing a decade of grievance now had a complete authority. The blueprint was reactivated almost immediately. The clock was ticking. So the plan was simple: cut the road, isolate Indian forces, force negotiation, and occupy Siachen Glacier. And on May 3rd, local shepherds, not satellites, not RAW, reported suspicious activity. By May 5th, the Indian army confirmed the infiltration. Our Prime Minister Vajpayee was told he had a choice: either negotiate or fight. He chose to fight. So here is what the road to Kargil actually tells us. One general, one ego, and the entire country that paid for it. So what did he do? He was so secretive about the operation that he never even took his own air and naval chiefs into confidence. And during the highest level of briefings, both the naval and air chiefs expressed their protest at being kept in the dark. Nawaz Sharif, the Prime Minister at that time, later claimed he only found out about the war when he received an urgent phone call from the Indian Prime Minister. But here is what we must sit with. India won, but at a very terrible cost. 500 plus soldiers from the Indian Armed Forces lost their lives during the war. A significant number of whom were recently commissioned officers, boys in their early 20s from villages across India, who climbed almost impossible mountains because India was just totally worth it. They didn't know they were going to become history. They were just doing their duty. And Musharraf's ego built the road to Kargil. India's soldier shut it down completely. Jai Hind and Bharat Mata.